Okay, there goes the video. And we're doing this comparison chart for the mid-year project. Your comparison chart looks something like this. Okay. And I'm going to go to this story, The Last Leaf, and see if I can fill in the devices and the themes for The Last Leaf. So I'll go back to classwork. I will find The Last Leaf story. I will open up my copy of the story. Okay, there's my copy of the story. And we're looking for literary devices. All right, I think I will open it with Kami, of course. Kami will open up the tools that I need on the side. And I'm going to use the comment tool. Okay. And I'm going to write comments on all the devices I can find. One thing I noticed in the beginning, we have a description. We have a description of the area in Greenwich Village where these artists are. And the description is detailed about the curves and the places and the angles, which I don't know whether or not it's important, but I'm going to write it down. Okay, and the use of the words curves, angles, and places makes it sound confusing. Which is kind of interesting, I guess, because the story ends up getting confusing and complicated, and their lives become confusing and complicated. Okay, let's keep going on the story. So here we are in Greenwich Village. We have these two characters, Johnsy and um, Joanna. No, Johnsy and Sue, who are two ladies who are art students who met in a restaurant. And then what happens is, I'm trying to highlight, but it's not working. Let's try this again. What happens is they are visited by pneumonia. But pneumonia is described as a person. So this is personification. Okay, the author uses personification to describe pneumonia as another character, which is interesting, bringing another character into the story to influence their lives, almost like um, fate, or the old-fashioned concept of the gods messing with your life. So pneumonia comes in and messes with their lives. So that may play into the ideas of the story of how they deal with issues. How do they deal with problems? Okay, and the doctor comes in and he says that she has to have. Oops, let's undo that. How do I undo? Control Z. Let's see if that does. What if that deleted my? It did. There it goes. Let's see. Okay, now let's get rid of that. Here we go. The doctor thinks that she has to have the will to live. Which is kind of interesting that they actually mention it in dialogue when it turns out to be one of the themes. And then they talk about her will to live, that she wanted to paint the Bay of Naples. And that was her passion. That's what she wanted. That was her desire. Okay? So that is somehow significant. That's some kind of a metaphor for what she wants to do with her life. She wants to paint the Bay of Naples. So this is her passion. Maybe this is a metaphor for her passion. And what she wants to do with her life. If there's anything else interesting that they use this. She needs to have a man to give her meaning in life. They use this gender bias in here, which is kind of interesting, in an old story that they put that in there. Why is it in there? Is it used to highlight purpose in life? Maybe. Who knows? And then they have one of the characters doing this work that she's working to draw for a magazine, a picture of a cowboy. It seems kind of silly what she's doing, but maybe that's highlighting, the difference between what we do to survive and what we're actually passionate about. Maybe. And then the interesting thing is, Johnsy, the girl that's dying, is counting the leaves on the vine. as they fall. And metaphorically, she is sort of counting down to the end of her life. And she's going to give up when all the leaves are gone. Okay, so she's going to go, and she decides that she's not going to eat or drink anymore. All right, the not wanting to eat or drink anymore, isn't that a sign of giving up? And there's a man downstairs, old Behrman, who was always about to paint a masterpiece, but never had begun it. So here is a failure, a man who is a failure. He had never accomplished anything. So Behrman as a character is an example of failure. So he's a symbol or a metaphor for failure. And after Behrman leaves, there's a cold rain falling outside. They close the window shade, and when they open the window shade, there's still a leaf holding on. One leaf holding on bravely. And that's a symbol for persistence, or a metaphor for persistence. The leaf is just hanging on. They even call it, it hung bravely from the branch. Okay. Okay. Not giving up. Which is interesting because what happens is that that symbol proves to the girl that she's been trying to give up, and that she should continue and she should work to survive. And because of it, she gets back her dream. She again wants to paint the Bay of Naples, which we already thought was a symbol of her will to live and her passion. And what happens is Behrman downstairs apparently went out in the cold and ended up dying of pneumonia because he went outside and painted the last leaf. So he does teach the girls about perseverance and keep staying until you're able to do your passion in life. And he actually is able to paint his masterpiece. Now, it's not the masterpiece that's going to hang in a museum, but it is something that saves the girl from giving up. And in some ways, that is what he had been trying to do. He'd been trying to help these girls out. So this last leaf, this last effort of hers, is symbolically his, great achievement. Okay. So your job is to take this story and look at all these things that you thought were interesting, whatever literary devices or interesting author's tricks. And I certainly have commented on a bunch of them. And take them and put them into your mid-year comparison. So here you talk about the last leaf and all the significant literary devices in this last column. And what you'll notice as you put the devices in is that the devices sometimes connect directly to the themes. And the themes of the story in this story are about perseverance, are about life's passion, are about making meaning out of a meaningless life. And so what's interesting is that the literary devices actually help promote the themes or tie or link directly to the themes. So you're going to go through, you're going to fill in these boxes for the last leaf, and you're going to go back to the other stories and fill in the boxes for the other stories. Maybe I will make you a video for each story of all the devices. I'll see if I can get that done. But I'm going to save this video and I'm going to post it. Is there anybody out there that is still actually paying attention